I'ma keep it brief. God is not a genie. During my walk with God, I came to the realization that sometimes most of us, or even some of us, tend to view God as a genie instead of viewing him as a father. Because who he is not a genie, but who he is actually a loving and caring father. And to be honest, I am actually guilty of this, especially when he revealed to me that what we have with him is a relationship with him and not a religion with him. And I've come to the realization that when we actually tend to view God as a genie, we actually tend to have something transactional with Him instead of something relational with Him. In the sense that we tend to view God as this magical being, this magical deity who is able to just give us anything we want at that time that we want it. I mean, yes, He is capable of doing that, but He doesn't want us to view Him like that. Why? Because just like I said, what we have with him is a relationship with him and not a religion with him. Because having a relationship with God means that it's something that is mutual. It means that we are having something relational with him. But religion is something that is more of transactional, meaning that if I do this, God will bless me with this. If I do this, God will give me this. If I do this, that means I'm better than this person, and God is actually going to bless me better than this person. But no, God does not have favorites, and that is actually true. Because at the end of the day, if you view God as a genie, you are not seeing him for who he actually is. You are just using him based off like the power that you know that he has. You're just using him to get whatever you want. And that is something that is actually very bad. Because think of it, a loving father will never want to give his children whatever they ask for the time that they ask for it. A loving father will want his children to actually earn what they're actually asking him. A loving father will actually want people to actually work hard in order for them to gain what he actually has promised to give them, what he has promised to bless them with. And that is true, for that's who God is. God is a loving father. Yes, we may tend to ask him for things, but God wants us to rely on his timing in order for him to bless us with whatever we ask him. And that is actually very true, because if he actually tends us to give us whatever we want whenever we want, he's actually like misusing us. He's not making us grow in character. He's not making us grow into the best version of ourselves with him. And that is actually something that is very true. So we shouldn't actually view God as a genie. We should view him as a father, because when you start viewing God as a father, you will actually know the type of person he is. You will actually know how loving he is, how patient he is, how badly he doesn't want us to misuse what he wants to bless us with. And that is actually true. So when it actually comes to your relationship with God, actually ask yourself, am I asking God for things in order for him to just bless me with those things for like whatever because I don't have them? Or am I asking him to bless me with these things for his glory? Am I asking him to bless me with these things for me to gain his trust to use these things to bring heaven on earth? Actually ask yourself that, because there's something that I've actually come to also realize is that when we tend to view God as a genie, we actually tend to gain pride in our hearts, and we tend to now be hypocritical towards God. We tend to now tell God, hey God, I'm better than this person. Hey God, I've done more than this person, so you should bless me. But no, God looks at the heart posture. He looks at how your heart is actually aligned to whatever you're asking him to bless you with. Because if your heart is actually aligned in a proper way, in a righteous way towards whatever you're asking him to bless you with, he will actually give you those things, but in his timing. And if not, he will make you, no, he'll actually humble you to the point that you will actually come to the realization that, oh, what I have with God, it shouldn't be hypocritical. What I have with God shouldn't be based off a genie mindset, but based off a fatherhood and a sonhood mindset, based off a family mindset. Because at the end of the day, we are his children. At the end of the day, he loves us. He wants us to have everything that we ask for him to bless us with. But if we are not ready for it, if he hasn't prepared us for it, we will just end up misusing it, self sabotaging it, and his reputation will be at hand. And that is actually very true. Because a loving father, if you ask for a loving father for strength, He will put you in situations where you feel weak, so that at the end of the day, you will gain a character of strength. When you ask a loving father for patience, he will put you in situations where you will be impatient, and then now you will end up gaining a character of patience. If you're asking a loving father to bless you with riches, with wealth, with prosperity, he will actually end up making you be broke, live a life of poverty, live a life where you feel like your business is not working, whatever you're doing is not working, in order for you to gain a character of content and of peace, so that in his timing, he will now actually bless you with these riches, with this prosperity. If you're asking God for a loving relationship with a spouse, for a loving relationship that will end up making you want a wonderful family, he'll make you end up go through heartbreaks. He'll make you end up being in a relationship where you feel like you are the only one putting in the effort, yet that other person is not putting the effort. Why? Because at the end of the day, he wants to build your character. He wants you to gain that loving kindness, that loving patience within yourself. So now at the end of the day, now when he blesses you with a wonderful spouse who will actually compliment you, you will actually now grow with this person together. So don't always view God as a genie. View him as a loving father, because a loving father will always want the best for you, but a genie wouldn't want that for you. Bless.